won't be talking about the health aspect of the situation. I'm not a health professional, and all I can suggest from this point of view is to stay safe, to stay informed, and to follow the official guidelines of your country and the World Health Organization. What I will be sharing are my thoughts on the impact coronavirus is having on our finances and some good practices that I believe are worth following to maintain a healthy financial situation during this time. Hello and welcome to the Savvy Corner. My name is Alisa. I'm a financial coach and consultant based in the UK, and I make money-related videos covering personal and business finances, financial well-being and money mindset. This is a video inspired by a conversation I had with my friend Anka, hello darling if you're watching, about the coronavirus crisis and the financial impact it has on people and businesses. I wasn't going to do a video on this topic, but our conversation made me think twice about it. Aside from the health impact, we are already seeing economic consequences of the pandemic, and I've received a few questions from people regarding my reaction and my suggestions for maintaining a healthy financial situation during this time of uncertainty. So I decided to address the subject after all. I won't be talking about the health aspect of the situation. I'm not a health professional, and all I can suggest from this point of view is to stay safe, to stay informed, and to follow the official guidelines of your country and the World Health Organization. What I will be sharing are my thoughts on the impact coronavirus is having on our finances and some good practices that I believe are worth following to maintain a healthy financial situation during this time. Let's jump straight in. To make it more interesting for you and perhaps easier to follow, I have decided to structure the content of this video by using a framework, namely a SWOT analysis. If you're not familiar with the term, SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And we will look at the coronavirus situation with the intention of discovering what's good about it. There are some good things about it. What's not so good? How can we benefit from it? And the dangers we need to be aware of, all from a money perspective. Let's start with the strengths. If you are an employee who is either able and allowed to work from home, or you can get sick pay from your employer for the days you're not able to work, then that's a very good position to be in. Whether you think of it like that or not, that is a strength. There are a lot of people whose incomes have been affected by their inability to work, and that can cause huge financial pressures. Similarly, if you are a freelancer, self-employed, or a business owner, and you conduct most of your business online, then you are also in a good position. Your business might have slowed down a bit, but if you didn't cease completely, then you have a lot to be grateful for. If you sell products or services that are now in more demand due to the outbreak, like crisis management training or remote working software, toilet paper, hand sanitizer, that's a strength as well. If your income has been affected by the coronavirus, one of your biggest strengths is likely to be your emergency fund, if you have one, or your savings. If you don't have savings or an emergency fund, that might be a weakness. So let's talk about those. Anything that jeopardizes your financial position right now is a potential weakness. The lack of savings or an emergency fund, work projects being cancelled, relying too much on offline or face-to-face work in your business, over-reliance or on debt to fuel your lifestyle, etc. I don't want to spend too much time talking about weaknesses. Things are difficult enough as they are, and I don't want to contribute to any feelings of anxiety you might have right now. In fact, I want to take a coaching approach to this by talking about what you can do to address these weaknesses. So let's discuss the next quadrant of the SWOT model, opportunities. A lot of us have been advised to work from home and limit our exposure to public places, restrict travel, and so on. What this means is that we won't be spending money on things such as transport, especially commuting, buying lunch for work, going out and entertainment, eating out, traveling, etc. What can we do with this money that we are saving to address some of the weaknesses? If we don't have an emergency fund, now would be a good time to think about creating one. We can also form healthy habits like cooking and aim to maintain them in the future to continue to save money on going out and buying work lunches and to keep adding to this emergency fund. We will likely have more time at our disposal, especially for those that used to travel a lot. How can we use that time to address the weaknesses we've identified? Perhaps we could put together a strategy to mitigate over-reliance on face-to-face work and incorporate an online or a remote element to our working or to our business. Now it's also a good time to create a budget, to organize financial paperwork, and to do other tasks that we've been postponing for a while. These are opportunities that we can create for ourselves, so to speak. But there are other opportunities out there, and I'd like to make you aware of some of them. If you are running a small business in the UK, there are several support schemes in place to claim for help if your business has been affected. I will link an article in the description box which explains more, and HMRC also has a helpline to support businesses or self-employed people who are concerned about paying their tax due to coronavirus. I will put the phone number in the description box. These help schemes don't work seamlessly, and there is a lot more, I think, that the UK government can do to facilitate business insurance claims, for example. But I won't go into that. We work with what we've got available. If you've booked a trip that you can no longer make, depending on the circumstances, you might be able to claim part of it, if not all of your money back. So check with your insurance company if you bought travel insurance for the trip. Check with the agency that you've booked through. Check with the airline company and check with your bank. If you paid using a credit card, you might be covered for certain instances. Also, interest rates are now down, so it might be a good time to refinance some of your loans. Now, there are several factors to take into account here, not just interest rates, but it's worth speaking to a professional about this and possibly lock in some smaller interest rates than what you're currently paying, maybe consolidate your debt, etc. Again, it's advisable that you speak to a professional or at least do your own proper research before you do anything. And now the fourth quadrant, threats. There's a lot of misinformation about this whole situation, from conspiracy theories to apocalyptic predictions. These are creating panic, and they can lead to making hasty decisions that we might regret later. So please pay attention to the reliability of the source that is offering the information, and aim to get your updates from reputable sources such as the World Health Organization and your own government. Also, be aware of coronavirus scams. There are quite a few out there by now, from phishing emails to text messages. Be vigilant and think before you give away any personal details. Now, a word about investments. I did not add them to the SWOT framework because they can fall into different quadrants depending on your situation. If you are looking to start investing and you have all of the other aspects of your financial situation in order, then what we're essentially experiencing now with the markets going down is a discount on shares. Similarly, if you already have investments, every time you buy new shares, you are able to buy more with the same amount of money. So that can be viewed as an opportunity. If, however, let's say you have your house deposit locked into an investment fund right now, and you are looking to take that money out and buy a house in the near future, then that could be a weakness, because it's likely that the value of your investments would have gone down. Remember, however, that when it comes to the stocks and shares market, you only lose or gain if you sell. As long as you remain in the market, your gains or losses are unrealized. They are on paper only. I won't go into detail about this now, but know that time in the market beats timing the market. So if you're in it for the long run, don't be hasty and make decisions in the heat of the moment. Speak to a financial advisor if you have concerns about this. I am not a financial advisor, and with that I'd like to make a disclaimer that everything I talked about in this video is not financial advice, and therefore you shouldn't see it as such. This is my opinion based on my knowledge, my research, and my attitude to risk. So please do your own research before taking action and speak to a professional if you need any financial advice. This was my take on coronavirus, how it's affecting both positively and negatively our financial situation, and what we can do about it. If you liked this approach, the SWOT analysis, you can read more about how you can apply this framework to your own finances by reading an article I wrote for Harvard Business Review Ascend, which I will link for you below. That would also help you to conduct a SWOT analysis that is tailored to your own circumstances. I tried to cover as much as possible in this video, but what I said might apply to you or not. I've given you an example here. Now go and do your own SWOT analysis to get a clear picture of how the situation looks like for you. Of course, there's a lot more to be said on the subject, and I'm happy to do more in-depth videos on strategies for protecting yourself financially, both personally and in business, in times of uncertainty. So preventative measures such as building an emergency fund, good cash flow management, etc., as well as in-the-moment strategies. What do you do when it happens and you're not fully prepared? What to prioritize, how to change your approach, how to keep sane, and so on. Just let me know in the comments or send me an email at alisa@thesavvycorner.com and let me know what would be useful for you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it some love. Subscribe and hit the bell for more similar content in the future. That's it for today though. If you have time on your hands because coronavirus and would like to watch more videos, go check out the two that are suggested on the screen. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.